Today at 6, waterlogged Britain. Hundreds more homes are flooded in the aftermath of the latest storm. Wading down the street in Gloucestershire. Elsewhere, roads and train lines are affected too.
Yes, here in Gloucester, the River Severn has burst its banks and has inundated plenty of homes. There are thousands of people who are struggling with rising waters across a huge part of the country.
We are going to return to what, of course, is very much dominating the news here today. Let's get a more detailed look at the weather as we get into the weekend. Louise Lear is back with me. We were talking about it earlier, Louise. Goodness, what awaits people in various parts of the country as we head into the weekend?
It's been relentless, hasn't it, Jane?
Hasn't it?
Picture behind me could be almost anywhere across the country. I'm sure you don't need me to reinforce the story with statistics, but I'm going to give you some because they really are quite breathtaking. We've only had 5 days of January so far, and some of us have seen just above or close to the whole monthly average rainfall for January. That's how relentless it has been. But I've got a glimmer of good news. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, it looks likely that we are heading for a drier spell for quite a few days in actual fact, but it will turn noticeably colder. Now, the high pressure will continue to establish itself across the country, pushing its way westerly. The winds, they rotate in a clockwise direction, so an easterly direction, a coolish source at this time of year, continuing to bring a little more cloud off the North Sea from time to time. But let's look ahead and let's continue with that positive note. Yes, frost and fog could be a problem first thing in the morning, and it will be on the cool side, temperatures below average, but there'll be a lot of sunshine around, and the most important thing, no significant rain.
Hello, good afternoon. With all the rain in recent days, we still have numerous flood warnings and flood alerts around too, with scenes like this, flooded streets, quite familiar across the capital. And this cooling trend will continue as we look ahead to the rest of the weekend and next week as well. There'll be some mist and fog forming Sunday morning that may be quite slow to clear, but some brighter spells into the afternoon. And then next week, a lot more in the way of drier, brighter weather with some sunshine. It may be breezy at times though, and it will be cold by day and by night.
Hello. After another 30 millimetres of rain across the capital yesterday, it's been a different day today. It's been mainly dry. A fair amount of cloud around, as you can see, so just limited bright spells. That pretty much sums up what we're expecting over the weekend. We continue to be much drier than we have been, though, with a lot of cloud around. It's going to feel quite cold. Temperatures are dipping, that lack of sunshine as well. It turns even colder into next week.
Good news to end the programme. And actually, I have some good news for you tonight as well, because after what has been such a tumultuous week of weather, there are still many flood warnings in force, of course, but the forecast for this weekend is drier. Yes, it's going to be colder, but I suspect that will be a small price to pay. Cold is the theme as we head into next week. High pressure in charge. That's what's bringing the mostly dry weather. But around the southern flank of this high, where we see the isobars squeezing together, well, it's going to turn really very windy indeed. So across southern England, South Wales, the strength of the wind will accentuate that cold feel. Further north, where the winds are lighter, there'll be some mist and fog which will linger, and that'll make it feel cold as well.
But we've been hearing about all the problems the weather's caused in the last few days, but looking from that picture at least, a bit better.
Yes, a welcome change, Victoria. Some glimmers of brightness on the horizon for this weather watcher in Uxbridge, and this is a sign of things to come. Now, it isn't a quick change. We are going to stick with quite a lot of cloud, I think, over the next couple of days, even a few showers, but certainly something drier, albeit colder than we've been used to. Now, not completely dry, certainly not completely sunny, but drier than it has been. Feeling cold in the strength of the wind, though, 3 to 6 degrees at best. And for Monday, still windy, still quite a lot of cloud around, some spells of sunshine, and in that wind, yes, it is going to feel cold. And if you were heading to the coast of Essex or Kent or down to the south coast, I think the wind will make it feel really cold. So bear that in mind if you are planning any sort of day trip. But we take this colder and drier theme with us into next week. No rain in these weather symbols. It is going to be quite chilly. Temperatures may be recovering a little as we head towards the end of the week.
A very good evening to you. Finally drying up through the weekend. A respite from all the wet weather of late, with chilly days and cold frosty nights set to return as temperatures fall a few degrees.